we are going back through Feel My Rhythm by Red Velvet. This isn't an album unboxing, this is an album that I had a while ago and I've decided to go back through it for this YouTube video. I think it's a really beautiful album. I have the other one as well, the little music box, but since I've moved I haven't been able to find it, so hopefully I can find it soon and I'll make a video showing that too. So that's the cover. I really like how when it stands up on a shelf, it looks like a book and it's very much feels, and it's proper like a hardcover book, which I really appreciate. I think that's quite a nice little touch. It looks really good on a shelf. Leave this to the side. It's also got like a dust cover, much like a book, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Again, very much like a book. Just go to the other side, got a unicorn. That's the back. The track list, the logo, title, and on the spine, Red Velvet. So it's very much feels like a book. Actually, for this, I'll put the dust cover back on at the end, just to make it a bit easier. So you open up some clouds. The logo, I think it's a really clever logo as well. I think it's really encapsulates the Feel My Rhythm classical inspiration they were going for. They were really ahead on the whole ballet core trend that's been popping up. One thing I love about Red Velvet albums is the creativity that goes into them. It goes into producing the physical albums, not just the photo shoots are amazing in their own way, but also the thought and the process behind the graphic design and the placement and the storytelling within the album itself. I think is brilliant. I really like how on these photos you can't tell what size they are. I mean, the fact that they have like candles and beads next to them and they've enlarged them makes them look like little cake toppers, like really small. See, when it's just here on a black background, you don't have anything to compare their scale to, and you just sort of see them as human being, but then when you start seeing them next to objects, they start looking much smaller and doll-like. I really like these shoes. There's quite a stark difference between these completely black photos with just them as the only subject compared to these photos where it's almost cluttered, but it doesn't feel too busy, it feels interesting and homely. And then we move on to these photos of them just being absolute princesses, and I love it. I really like this as well. Nice little touch. It's the same sort of design on the fountain as it was for the stands they were on when they were in the ballet poses. Feel My Rhythm. Don't know how Sulgi got on there. I feel like that must have been quite difficult. This big rose and the way it's just above her face reminds me of that scene from Happiness. I think, is it Irene or Joy, who have a massive green rose on her head, like a rose hat. I think it was Irene and Joy. Yeah, just sort of that size as well. Rainbow Halo, it's a great song. It's even like they've just, these little extra images I think really add to the whole album. You can tell a lot of thought and time has been put into producing this. like the little mushrooms on the floor as well. I think they're a nice touch. Big for me. That's a good song. Bambaleo. Oh, my throat's going. And of course that cat's a throwback to the Ice Cream Cake music video, and I think it's been seen in a few other of their music videos as well. Good, Bad, Ugly. I think that's a really good song. That's an amazing dress. I bet that was really heavy to wear as well. I really like her crown. Almost look like daisies. I wonder if it was specifically made for this photo shoot, or if it was something they bought perhaps from the designer brand. I really like Silky's hat as well. Very summer. In My Dreams, that's my favourite song of the album. And then the credits. That's it. And then here is where the CD is, but I currently have that in my car to listen to it. So there you have it. That's the album. So I also got with this album this mini poster with Silky on that giant fountain. And for the photo cards, I mentioned I had this album and the other version of the Feel My Rhythm. So I've got two photo cards, I can't remember which one came with this one specifically, so I'll show you both. So Irene, her signature, and Wendy. I feel like the different colours probably tell you which album it comes from, and I think it's the green one. That would make sense to me. So I think it was Wendy that came in this album. I also got a Yeri book card, bookmark, so on the back it focuses. Thank you very much. It also came with some stickers. I think there was another set of stickers, but I'm not sure what I've done with them either. I'm not really sure what to do with these, although I do really like them, but I haven't decided on what to use them for yet. And then of course the little info card bit with the Feel My Rhythm album cover. So there you have it. Album, which looks like a book, stickers, of course a bookmark, a really lovely bookmark, and some photo cards. Oh, and of course the poster as well. One of my favourite albums from them. Absolutely brilliant and well worth the money in my opinion. So I was about to put this album away, and then I had another look at it and I've realised something kind of creepy that I wanted to show you. So there's, in some of the flowers, in the roses, these little eyes. There, and there's one there, these little eyeballs just watching. That's such an easy little detail to miss. I mean, I've looked at this many times and I've never noticed that before. There's also that bear that I think that's representing the SM mascot, that pink gummy bear, but in plant form, which sort of makes the bear sort of blend into the view. I thought it was quite interesting. But because I noticed that, I decided to flip through again and see if there was any other little details that I hadn't noticed. And there's, on this page, there's these little cat prints going all the way up to Yeri. Come back to that. There's, where is it? The cattail in the corner of this photo. Don't know how I missed that before. And then this one's quite interesting. So you've got the cat up in the clouds, as well as the plant version, I don't know what to call it. There are eyeballs in the flowers. It's very small, so it's quite hard to see. And there's also cat prints going all the way up to Irene as well. And that really makes me think back to, I think it was called Queen's Archive, where I think it was all the members had cat motifs, like that frame fell where Joy was standing, and then a cat appeared where she was standing, and I think Irene had a tail, and I think Sully had, I think she had a shadow with a cat tail. Can't remember. I'll go back and look after this, because that'd be quite interesting to see. We've got eyeballs again in the flowers. There's one there. Let's leave one. There's one there. They're only in the graphic roses that have been added in. They've used a lot of real roses in the photo shoot, but the eyeballs only appear in these type of flowers that I think have been added on. But yeah, I thought that was just quite an interesting little aspect. So there you have it.